Hey everybody, this is April Rashad. I am a certified nutritional consultant and I'm also a certified TLS weight loss solution coach and trainer. And the trainer aspect really just means that I certify other coaches. And we're going to dive right in today because we're talking really about what TLS weight loss solution is and also how you could really implement this if you wanted to become a coach. So my goal is that I'm just going to impart some information and this may be a stopgap between conversations that you have with us. I am not scripted on here, but I did want to use some slides so you can kind of put some information in a visual way to really understand better what we're doing. And out of the gate, I want to just share with you that TLS is just an acronym that stands for Transitions Lifestyle System, because we know that really 80 to 90% of people would love to lose weight, but this is not just about weight loss. What we're really talking about with this program is that it is a very clean eating, holistic type program, and weight is super or weight, I should say, is just a symptom of us not being healthy. It just happens to be, I think, what a lot of people are really focused on first. So I just wanted to clarify that right out of the gate. And let's just talk too about why you're here today. You may be a wellness or a holistic coach. Maybe you're in an IIN program or another holistic coaching program, but you're looking to add another aspect into what you're already providing. Or maybe you've graduated with nutrition degree or a holistic or wellness coaching degree, and you have that knowledge base, but you just don't feel like you have the structure to know what to do with your coaching. And so maybe you're looking for some help and some guidance and some structure around that, and we can provide that for you. Maybe you're a personal trainer who would love to be able to provide more nutritional information, but you know that as a personal trainer, that's not an aspect that you're allowed to technically provide, even though people are always coming to you asking you, what do you eat? What should I eat? Should I supplement? Shouldn't I? And all of those other questions. So you'd love to add that nutritional piece into what you're already doing with your existing clients, not just to make yourself more marketable, but certainly to add more value to the services that you're already providing and to the clients that you're already providing them to. Maybe you're a health practitioner, whether you're a licensed health professional or a doctor, chiropractor, massage therapist. Maybe you have a spa or a practice and you'd love to be able to implement some type of weight loss solution, some type of, clean eating or nutritional program in there. And so you're just learning a little bit more about it. Perhaps you're a fitness or nutrition enthusiast. And so, that's really the thing that's propelling you to want to learn more, right? A lot of us start with having some challenges with our health ourselves, or we just fascinates us, the whole fitness and nutrition industry, and we just don't know where to start. So we want to start somewhere that's accessible without maybe having to go back and getting a 4-year degree. And then, sometimes my favorite is the success story. You might be somebody who wants to pay forward what you've already received, which is better health through TLS weight loss. So many people lose 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and more pounds. But more importantly, as we were just saying, it's not just about the weight. So maybe you've come off of medications, you have more energy, you're sleeping better, your inflammation has gone down, your energy has gone up, your headaches have gone away, in addition to losing weight. And, you might just be in that point where you're like, wow, I could really do this. I'm already helping and coaching and teaching people, and I'd really love to be able to do this and, create a business out of it, or, at least be able to do it on the side because you're passionate about it. So whatever the reason, I want to dive right into, what we are, why we're different, and that big question of like, all these diets that are out there. Oh my gosh, paleo and keto and this and that. And you're going to see 100 more that kind of come onto the scene as well. And what I love about TLS is that we're not really just one thing, okay? But we're definitely not a diet. We're not fad. We're based in science. And that's what you're really going to find, is that there's really not one size that fits all. There's a lot of ways people can lose weight. But what I love about TLS the most is that it's not just about weight loss. This really is a way to capture the entire holistic approach of getting healthy. And like I said, there isn't just one way that suits everybody. So, I think we know why diets don't work. That cycle is really horrible that a lot of people have been in for years and years. But the thing behind diets is that you're typically okay with any kind of weight that you're losing, right? And if that's true, you could be losing water and muscle, and that is happening quite frequently with a lot of people, and you're not primarily losing fat. That's not to say that you can't diet and lose fat, but the thing is, are you sure you're preferentially losing fat? And is that what the focus is, or is it just about stepping on the scale and seeing that the pounds are coming off? I always tell people that the pounds will come off if they need to, but if you're doing it in a healthful way, it's going to be sustainable long-term metabolic change. It's going to help you to keep that weight off. And, and I feel like that's really the most important thing. All calories are not created equal. And so some diets are focused on the calories in, calories out. Well, we know that 100 calories of asparagus is not the same as 100 calories of potato chips, right? And diets will affect you neurologically and metabolically. So a lot of times people will lose weight, but you know how that cycle works, that they'll gain it back. And when they gain it back, if they lost muscle the first time, are they gaining it back with muscle? And the answer is no. So you're really changing your metabolism by adding more fat every time that you've gained that weight back, which then makes it more difficult for you to be able to lose the weight the next time. So not just because you're a higher body fat percentage, but because your hormones have changed. Maybe leptin, your satiety hormone, or ghrelin, your hunger, hormone might have changed, or you've got neurological pathways that really have changed based on that whole diet mentality and the foods that you were eating or depriving yourself of. It also implies that it's temporary, and that means that it wouldn't be sustainable. And so when we use the word diet, it's like, what does your diet consist of? Not that, oh, I'm on this diet, because on it means you're going to get off of it, right? And so a lot of these diets, as I said earlier, aren't also affecting your overall health positively. And isn't that the most important thing? What would be the point of doing keto long term if it really helped you to lose weight and fat, but at the end of the day, you did not lower your risk for heart disease or for cancers, which 1 in 3 people nowadays will be diagnosed with cancer, 1 in 2 with a heart disease. And these are because they're still, the leading causes of death in this country. So I know we all want to feel better in our clothes. We want to look better in the mirror, but you really need to do something that's both family friendly, a way that you would feed your kids, a way that you wouldn't mind to feed your elderly, mother, and a way that you would feed yourself in a way that's also going to affect your health positively for the future. So we are the most comprehensive and customizable program, I believe, that's out there, and a true lifestyle program because it's sustainable. We're using real food. It's food first. And there's a lot of aspects to what we do we'll get into, but we're family friendly. So that means that you don't have to be on a diet and feeding everybody else in your family something different. Our focus is on fat loss and blood sugar stability, so that we're going to lessen cravings. We're going to create balance, not just in hormones, but in all areas of your body. And you're going to teach your body how to burn fat. So that's really important. And so, what we really base ourselves on are these 4 components, okay, that you can see here. And I'll go into them one at a time. And I think you're going to see that because of these 4 components, it's really what makes us so different. So number 1 is that we focus on low glycemic impact eating. So it is a food first program. We're focused on real foods that you can get at a real grocery store. But the idea of low glycemic impact eating is blood sugar stabilization. And when your blood sugar is stable, you're actually able to preferentially, burn fat. And that's because insulin, which is in response to your blood sugar rising, is a fat storage hormone. And I'm going to explain how that works in a moment. But of course, too, low glycemic impact eating is going to affect your overall health in a positive way and provide you with sustained energy. So it kind of hits a lot of the most important aspects that we're really concerned about. The thing is that every time that you eat food, your blood sugar does go up. Okay. And as a response to that blood sugar going up, your pancreas will secrete insulin. Okay. Obviously, unless you're a type 1 diabetic, but this is good for diabetics as well. So if your blood sugar is going up, okay, and it rises, that's fine. That's normally supposed to happen, except when you eat something that rises your blood sugar very fast and very high. And foods that are high glycemic are going to do that. Now, I have to clarify for you. And again, I'm just giving you an overview. So there's so much more to learn. But in the shortened version is that there's something called the glycemic index. That's just a number between 0 and 100 that measures the impact a sugar or a carbohydrate has on your blood sugar. So the measure of how a carbohydrate affects your blood sugar is the glycemic index, okay? But if we just went by the glycemic index, then you would find that carrots are higher GI than M&Ms. Okay. But would we ever tell you to eat an M&M over a carrot? Of course not. So what's the other factor there? It's not just common sense. It's the glycemic load of a food. So there's a lot of people that are trying to measure these numbers of the glycemic index and only eat things that are low or moderate on that scale, but that's not really the full picture. That was based off of a pound of carrots. When was the last time you ate a pound of carrots? So the load of the food is really the quantity, and the index of the food is really the quality of that carbohydrate. Well, we use all of that, and we don't use numbers to have to measure anything. It's very simple to follow, but that's really the science behind what we're teaching is low glycemic impact eating. And so the glycemic impact involves both the index and the load of the food. Anyway, to get back to our story, once you have spiked your blood sugar high and fast, it actually puts you into fat storage mode. It's almost like it switches a metabolic switch. And when you have that fast surge of insulin, it's going to handle some of that blood sugar. But because it released so much, it was almost like an emergency that now any further calories you eat are looked at as excess food. And excess food, insulin will store for you as fat for a rainy day. Isn't that nice? So you could eat a plate of broccoli after you've spiked your blood sugar, but it's going to get stored as fat because your body is seeing it as excess calories. And that's what insulin's job is to do. It's to handle blood sugar and take excess and store it for fat for a rainy day. Our bodies have not evolved that much over the last 50 to 60 years. So fat is really primally our best stored energy. And it has no idea, your body really has no idea that your refrigerator is stacked with food and that everywhere around the corner food is available, right? So what goes up, what must come down. So when you're eating higher glycemic impact foods, then it's going to crash later, and that's going to lead to cravings. So that's why we have this like zapping of energy and craving food and then eating, and it spikes and back and forth we go. What we want to do is keep it on that even blue line there so that we're really, keeping our blood sugars level, which will give us sustained energy, keep our body in a fat burning mode. And here is one of the most important takeaways. Okay. You could have a food that is low fat, low sugar, and low calorie. Low fat, low sugar, low calorie. Think of like Cheerios. If you look at the label, it's low fat, it's low calorie, it's low sugar. And even on the front of it, it says, ooh, it's all, eight whole grains, 8 grams of whole grains. That's really just 1 gram of fiber. It's not a big deal. But that food that's low fat, low sugar, low calorie is very high glycemic impact, and it responds in your body like a candy bar. So I think some of the problem is that people are eating foods that they think are healthy. They think that they're saving calories or whatever, but as I just told you, a calorie is not a calorie. So how it responds in your body is totally different depending on what the food is. So that's what we teach, and it gets so much more into it, but in a way that's really easy to follow. So that's really important. But our second component is body composition. What a simple concept. Keep your lean muscle, build more, and help your body to preferentially lose fat. We don't want to just lose a pound on the scale. You could lose 15 inches before you lose a pound. 15 inches before you lose a pound. So what we want to make sure of, we know the scale matters to people, but like I said, wouldn't you rather be able to fit into 2 sizes smaller of a pair of jeans and feel like you're not bloated and your belly's not hanging over than just be down 5 pounds on the scale? So if you think of like muscle being lean and tight and fat being big and gelatinous, pound for pound, which one do you want to lose from your butt, right? Or your stomach? Obviously, you want to lose the one that's fat, also because it's not metabolically active. Okay, so take a look at 5 pounds of fat versus 5 pounds of muscle. Do you see how much more space that 5 pounds of fat takes up? So people hear, oh, muscle weighs more than fat. That's not really the best way to describe it. If you look at this picture and you understand that that 5 pounds of fat is taking up more space, but more importantly, look at the facts here. 5 pounds of fat only burns 20 calories a day, but 5 pounds of muscle is going to burn 250 calories a day. So you've got, 10 times the calorie burn, basically, right? Or more when you have muscle instead of fat. So it's all about losing the fat, keeping the muscle you have. And that's why we focus on body composition. The third component are science-based supplements. And, I think that when people, 65% of people or so do take supplements. So it's not really a conversation we need to have in terms of like, is it a need? We know people are deficient in vitamin D, 75 to 90%, depending on where in the world that you live. I mean, we're talking globally. We know people are mostly deficient in magnesium and calcium. This is widespread and understood. We know because of coffee and over-the-counter things like ibuprofen and Tylenol and stress and alcohol and poor food choices, whatever, that most people are deficient in vitamin B, and it's water soluble. It's out of your system in 4 hours. So we also know that people have done quite a bit of metabolic disrepair. Right? We know people are coming to us already on medications. We know people are coming to us feeling sick, tired, achy, arthritis, my heart, I've got cholesterol issues, I've got this, that, the other thing. We know that this is the case. We know that 65% of our country is overweight or obese, and we know it's not just because they're overeating, it's because they're overeating and undernourishing. So their body is constantly looking for nutrients it's not getting in the food that we're taking. So why do I have all these pictures? These are just a few. What I'm trying to show you is that we use supplementation on a very customized basis for people in our program to help with some of the general challenges that they have. Some of them, yes, are specific for weight loss, curb cravings and hunger, because we're helping to balance hormones, or helping with, the cortisol effect in terms of stress, or areas that they've been working out and losing weight, and yet their stomach and their thighs are still a problem area and their body is not releasing the fat there. Things to accelerate fat burning, or maybe something to help in the liver because our livers are overtaxed. There's so many different things that we could choose from. Digestive health is a big component. Not getting in enough vegetables is a big component. Detox of our system on a daily basis. And so here's the takeaway here. We are partnered with several manufacturers. I'm just showing you a few. And the best part, I feel like, when I was a background in nutrition, I have a background in personal training, a background in head injury rehab. And when I was seeing clients, they're asking me these questions, and I hadn't vetted every product in every store. But when I started to look and turn over these labels, I'm like, oh my God, everything out there practically is crap. Now, there's a lot of good stuff that's on the market nowadays, right? But you have to vet all of that first. So not everybody uses the products that I have access to, but now at least I have a really good buffet of products to choose from that I really can help people with their specific challenges and really help them to accelerate their results, help with some of the metabolic disrepair they've done, help with the gut repair, help with toxicity, help with, lowering inflammation, and doing it in a safe way that I know I feel good about because I'm clear on, how these products were made, where they're coming from, what they are ahead of time. And I can just kind of pick and choose what I feel like is right for, my specific clients. So that's awesome. As examples, we also have shakes. I have a lot of clients that like to use a collagen shake. Great. I don't have one of those from one of my exclusive manufacturers, but I have lots of partner stores and things where I can recommend that they get something where I can look at their label and I can say, hey, let's take a look at that and let me tell you if I think that that's a great idea. That's all part of our education, but I've got nutrition shakes and I've got things for pre and post workout and I've got a plant-based shake. So we have options, and when I'm saying that we're using products that, are science-based, it's because the ingredients are clinically proven. So here's just an example of something called TLS Core, and it has an ingredient called Lepticor. There's only 4 ingredients in this product, but in a study using 300 milligrams of Lepticor 2 times a day, which is exactly the dosing we have in this particular TLS product, we saw that with no other changes with food, their weight decreased 5.4%, fat percentage decreased 2.8%. Okay, this is after 8 weeks. Waist circumference and hip circumference both lowered almost, somewhere between 1.7 and 1.8 inches. And then look at how this is a total health product, right? Total cholesterol went down 18%. Bad cholesterol went down almost 15%. Good cholesterol up 13.7 and triglycerides down 7.1. The blood sugar was down almost 8%. Um, Serotonin was up 28.6%, leptin levels down almost 50%, and C-reactive protein, which is an inflammatory marker, down 15.1%. If you don't know what all these mean, that's part of the education. But what you have to see here is that this product really helped. It helped with, the serotonin, them feeling happier and feeling more satiated, the leptin levels with the cravings, inflammation, total blood lipid profile. I mean, amazing, right? We have another product that's called Trim Tea. That's a totally different company. But look at what happened after a 10-week double-blind placebo-controlled study. 28 pounds of weight loss, and they were still eating a high-calorie diet. 6.3% body fat reduction, 6.7 inches lost in the waist. Adiponectin levels were up staggering 159%, which really helps with blood sugar, weight, and blood pressure, right? 51% reduction with the inflammatory marker of C-reactive protein, 26% reduction in cholesterol and LDLs, 22.5% reduction in resting blood sugar levels, and an 80.9% reduction in that fat reproduction we see. Your body likes to create about 8% more fat cells every year, and this cut that down by almost 81%. So I'm just using these as just two examples so you can understand that the things that we're using are dosed appropriately. They're using high-end ingredients, and yet we're not making any of these products. We're partnering with some exclusivity contracts with, a lot of companies that have really great products on the market that really can help our clients, not just with weight loss, but with other challenges that they're having to their health. And then, of course, there's tools and education and things that we really can't help people, so that we have professional tools at the ready for us, brochures and other things that really can help us. Even if, like I said, these things are coming from different manufacturers, we have a company that does a lot of the heavy lifting in this regard. All right. And then the fourth component, I think, is really the thing that sets us apart the most. It's the education and the coaching, right? If you already have a background in wellness coaching or whatever, you're at a higher level. Now add that to the fact that we have a structured program and tools and all the things to take the heavy lifting away for you. But we have multimedia formats for education. We've got videos already prepared. Some are casual, some are corporate, type, professionally done. We have, text and a website, and we have, a journal and a guide. We've got a coach, you or me or somebody to support people every step of the way. We have social media, and we have a content being loaded on there all the time, and recipes and menu plans and so much more. So that component takes away the idea that you could just get a book and read on paleo or keto or some of these other fad diets that are out and around, and that's fine. But when you have a question about your specific situation, you want a coach to be there to answer that for you. And if you don't, as a coach, know the answer, don't you want a team who's a resource to you to help you to answer those questions? So beautiful recipe books and things that are available. The Health Guide and Journal is brand new. We've just redone it. You would be branded with your own website that has a lot of cool tools and, a profile that people can do, and e-commerce ready for people to be able to access a lot of the products. And these are just a few. I'm telling you, when we have a further conversation, you're going to learn even more. Okay. You could even check out, for now, we have an actual coach social media support, but this is just for people who are following, TLS weight loss in general, which is so great. Now, when we go to teach and coach people and we say, hey, we're getting all of this education and we're providing all this great information to people, what are we really talking about? Well, with TLS Weight Loss Solution, when we're coaching people, it's not random. We are teaching basics on macronutrients. We're teaching detox strategies and how to eat low glycemic impact foods. We're teaching about hormones and exercise and what to eat before and after exercise, stress, plateaus, food sensitivities, effective supplementation and ways to improve metabolism, eating out, obstacles, behavior change, and how to really customize for the person. All of these are topics that we teach you, and then you can impart and really create it your own program too, or use the structure we have with ours to really help you help your client. In the way of behavior change and weight loss strategies, again, here you go, some of the things I just mentioned before, in addition to the fact that we have that journal, the meal plans, the recipes, all of that. So, how do we coach? Like, there's so many different ways that you could structure this. So we give you structure, we give you help, we give you all of that. But think about it. Like, I've got some people who are, holistic coaches, and they just didn't know how to start their coaching business, or personal trainers. And they're like, oh, everybody's asking me about food. And they just wanted to run a 1 week detox program, but they really didn't know what to do. And they were going to have to create all the materials themselves. And what am I going to recommend? And I've seen gyms that run like a boot camp, and they're like, oh, but I feel like you need vitamin D and omegas. And, they don't know where to send people. They don't know what to do. So you could do a 1 week detox program. We have a structured 21-day challenge program. You can do a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever, up to 12-week program if you wanted to. You could add in any of your specialty training. If you are a trainer, you could add exercise in. If you're a yoga instructor, you could add that. If you're, an eating psychology major, you could add in more on behavior change or EFT and tapping, or, whatever it might be. If you have some specialty, you can take our program and you really can make it your own. So we have a lot of ways to do that, but we also teach you that there's different ways you can coach. Maybe you're somebody who just likes that one-on-one, right? Either live or virtual, like on video chat. Maybe you just like to be in a live group, a small group at a church, at a home, at a gym, in your office. Or maybe you like to just teach groups via, a virtual platform using social media. We do that too, but guess what? We teach you exactly how to do that. And we can customize programs. So there's times that I've made up my own packages that we provide, with different, materials and products, and how many weeks it's going to be, and before and after assessments and whatever. But you could also take something, and you'll see here, take your free weight loss profile. That's something available right through the website that somebody could find out what's the best menu plan for them. What's the best, products that they might help them to stay on track and accelerate their results. So because we have so many program options for people, there's a way to really, quote unquote, find your fit through TLS and really customize it to make it your own, but still have all the tools and everything right there for you. I mentioned the free weight loss profile. This is really cool. It's subjective, of course, because of how they're answering questions, but it really is a great way to just take that free profile, have a conversation, with somebody about what those results are, and at least head you in the right direction. It's not the same as doing like a health history intake, but certainly from the standpoint of nutrition, what they're eating now, where some of the gaps are, and what some of their needs are, and what their goals are. This is a great way to get people started as well. So I think the question too becomes like, what are your personal and business goals, right? I think it's probably one of three, if not all three. Are you looking to heighten your education and develop your coaching business, and you're looking for that structure behind it? Talk about that in a second. Are you just looking for, a buffet of clean products, right? Like that you vetted, that you can offer to your clients because they're coming to you saying, oh, my doctor said I'm deficient in D, or geez, I'm having headaches. What could I take in addition to ... to be able to help with that naturally, right? So you want to be able to offer these clean products. How about developing a larger income that pays you beyond your last client? I know as a trainer and as a nutritionist, when I saw clients, they hated it when I went on vacation, and so did I. Why? Because that week I wasn't making any money, that I went away, and everybody was upset with me because it didn't coincide with their vacation, right? So, it's amazing to be able to see clients do what you're passionate about, but have an income that comes in that's larger, that means that you're not dependent on that last check that you just got from a previous client. And we're going to talk about that real quick to kind of finish up. So we'll go through each of those three things, and you can kind of figure out where you fall and what you might want to do as your next step. So heightening your education and getting help to develop your coaching business. Really, you get to learn experientially with our help. And I think for me, I'm a hands-on learner. I love to read. I love to watch videos. I love to do stuff on my own. But really, when you have somebody there every step of the way, helping you figure out how this is going to fit into your life, your coaching business, or maybe you have no experience and you don't know where to start, we're here to help you with that. We have a certification process, and it's not something that's expensive or really time consuming, but much of it is field work, right? But you can get certified in this as well to add into your other certifications or give you the certification that you're looking for. You can add it into your toolbox of your existing practice or coaching training business. And you can, we can help you with, how maybe you don't know how to set up your coaching fees or how to set them up on top of what you're already doing. Really anything between $20 to $200 per hour is really normal. for people who are providing. Just depends on your level of expertise, what you're providing, what the programs are that you're offering. And then access the assistance of a team of professional coaches. I find that invaluable, that I always know I've got somebody I can turn to, ask a question, somebody who's willing to help me and, is invested in my success. From the clean products, there's sometimes I do run into coaches or trainers who are like, I just feel like I'm sending people down the street to like Costco, CVS, and Vitamin Shop or GNC or whatever. And I feel like they have subpar products, but I really don't know where else to send them. And I feel like, geez, I'm making these referrals and recommendations. People would rather get it from me. Now they got to go to 2 stores to get what I've recommended or what they know that they need, or they are coming to me for the answers. Why shouldn't I get paid on that referral? Right. And so we've got so many products coming from several manufacturers that are of high quality that once you learn about them, then that means you're getting product education and you're able to vet the products that you're suggesting. But why shouldn't you earn retail profit from that recommendation, right? So for us, we have a line of exclusive products and we have some one-offs that are not, but you'll earn about 30% retail. And that even just in that conversation, let's say you're a trainer or you're an existing coach and you're making that recommendation, people would rather get it from you, and you should get paid for, making that referral. And then finally, you can develop a larger income that pays you beyond your last client. We call it residual income, ongoing income. It's getting paid for work you've done previous. How is that? Well, you could imagine if somebody wrote a book, it's the same type of thing, right? It's royalties. But for us, it's making referrals, right? And helping us to expand our field of coaches. If I have a friend who's also a massage therapist or a coach or a personal trainer, and they say, God, I'm really looking to add nutrition into what I do, and I help to get them up and running, and I help to teach them and whatever. I don't want them to be my competition. What if you could make money together? Okay. So that's what I'm talking about, is when you help to expand the field of people who are teaching TLS in their own way, we can get paid on having made that referral. We link arms, we get paid together. They get paid on what we're doing, we get paid on what they're doing, and it's a very beautiful symbiotic relationship. But maybe you're somebody who just wants to tap into your natural ability to coach or train and get paid for that too, and that's okay. But we have a proven business model and a compensation plan that allows you to leverage your efforts and make more money, and that's really the thing. I think all of us would agree that part of self-care, self-love is taking time for yourself. And when you start to overbook yourself with so many clients, that starts to slip away. I know a lot of people have left corporate America and wanted to do something in the health field because they were trying to improve their health, decrease their stress, or what have you. But you can replace one thing with the other if you don't have some kind of a system in place to allow you to leverage, right? And then there's even further leverage in partnering with health professionals. And that's another, conversation that we can have as well, but just to at least point it out, right? So why should you partner with us? It really is truly if this is a good fit. And that's why to have another conversation, kind of figure that out. But we have a proven business model to plug into. It's very accessible for everybody. We're invested in your success. We're multifaceted. So it's like, hey, some people might listen to this and be like, I don't know if I want to teach TLS, weight loss solution. I'd love to learn about it. I like it, but I really am just looking for products to offer my existing clients. Great, fine. Maybe you're just somebody who's looking for that system to kind of get your coaching business up and running, or you love the compensation structure and the idea of making more leveraged income. Whatever works for you is how we create an action plan for you, right? But we are doing the heavy lifting. We're providing the support you need to succeed. We have the tools so you don't need to reinvent the wheel. And we can kind of take you at whatever entry point you're at and move you forward to wherever it is you want to be. And you're going to go about it and not be alone. So if you like anything that we've talked about, reconnect with us as soon as possible, review the aspects that you are interested in that I talked about, whether it's the coaching, the residuals, the products, or all three, and get your questions answered and really find out exactly what it's going to take to partner with us. So it's all transparent and you can figure out what will work. And I wrote this down here because I don't want you to think that there's some like secret thing. Oh my God, it's going to cost me thousands of dollars like it did to go to IIN or whatever. No, for getting up and running and owning websites and accessing all the tools and the team of people and being able to try products and all of that is somewhere between $149 to $3.99. Like, it's really never going to break the bank for you to get up and running and get way more tools than what that value is that's there. The value is so much higher. So I wanted to throw that out there, but you need to, let us know what is it that you're looking for, and we can figure out what would be a good next step for you. So you figure out what you want, how much money you want to make, and then we can help to create an action plan and make that happen. Okay. So I hope that this was helpful, you guys, and I look forward to talking to any one of you soon.